welcome back to Owning Authenticity. I am making this video because I have been falling in love with Earth energy these last few days. And for lots of reasons, that is very much new territory for me personally. And I wanted to come onto a video and share some of the things that I have been falling in love with about these like beautiful earth energies. And I titled the video Earth Magic because it really is a seemingly magical process of turning ideas and thoughts and visions and imagination and dreams and all kinds of things that don't really exist. They're just puffs of air and they're passing thoughts, at best. And until we ground them into the physical and in a painstaking way show up to that creation over and over and over and over and over again until you've taken something that was a puff of air, it was an image in your brain, and you've done the dedicated effort, the doing to create something that exists in the physical world. And I personally am a I'm going to say fanatic when it comes to psychology and human behavior and emotions and the way our energy and our selves are wired and how we are all so different. Like, I find it absolutely fascinating. And about a little over a year ago, I started working with a life coach who uses natal charts as her primary tool to ground the conversation. And in the very first session with her, I learned that I have what's called a Taurus rising sign, and not important what that actually means, but basically it means that like my go-to energy for success is to be super grounded in my body and connected with my body and my animal instincts. And I am a person that historically lives in their head and in their emotions, and that's pretty much it. Like, otherwise, I can easily become a bump on a log, like to just like sit my body somewhere and let my mind run free for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and days and weeks and months. And it's a real it's a real easy energy for me to get addicted to like be inside my mind. So to learn that like my superpower energy for success and expansion and all of this is locked in me getting really grounded inside my body. And I literally told her, that is so boring. That is like the most boring answer you could have ever given me. And it took me up until even just these last few months to begin to open up to the idea of earth energy and the power and the necessity and the peace that it offers. And so all of that to fast forward to a couple days ago, I started listening to a book called The Book of Earth, and it is written by Steven Forrest, and he wrote 4 volumes that are the Book of Earth, the Book of Water, the Book of Fire, and the Book of Air. And each one aims to define the vocabulary that you use to interpret natal charts. So in the Book of Earth, for example, he's talking about Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, and the 2nd house, which is ruled by Taurus, the 6th house, which is ruled by Virgo, and the 10th house, which is ruled by Capricorn. And he goes through Venus, which rules Taurus, Mercury, which rules Virgo, and then Saturn that rules Capricorn. So all 9 of those pieces come together to help us understand our unique earth energy, because yes, every single person is made up of earth, air, fire, and water. We are all of them. We're all 12 of the zodiac energies. We're not just one of them. You know, I was born in June. I'm not just Gemini. I'm not just a Gemini. I am all of the zodiac energies. I have a Leo moon. I have my Pluto in Scorpio. I have Saturn in Sagittarius. I have Neptune in Capricorn. I have Mars in Pisces. There's all of these different placements that create a multifaceted being, which we all are, you know. There are many sides to us as creatures, and understanding the ebbs and flows of our inner world is something that, depending on how chaotic your inner world is, I mean, it can take a minute to work into a place of peace and in the flow of your inner world. At least for me, it took quite a while to get okay with it. And the main obstacle to that was my mind. It was, I mean, I suffered from anxiety and depression, and all of that makes so much sense when I learned about Virgo. And especially in the Book of Earth, listening to Steven Forrest's interpretations of the Virgo archetype, he describes it as the energy where we're able to picture perfection in our minds, and Virgo is oriented towards that perfection and is constantly looking at reality and comparing it to the perfection that they have in their minds, and constantly trying to get there, to get to perfection. And that can, there's 2 sides to that sword. It's, on one side, it can drive you literally crazy. And on the other side, it is a powerful engine for continuous improvement and seeking better and better and better and better. And Virgo's heart is in the perfect place. Virgo is where we transition from our inner self to where do we fit in the grand scheme of the outer world. Virgo is our servant energy, where we just want to be of service. We want to do good and create value in the world. And how do we maximize the value that we bring to the table? And in the pursuit of maximizing the value we bring to the table, Virgos can become tyrannical in terms of demanding the most perfect out of everything. And I laugh because I have significant Virgo energy, and learning about that like unstoppable drive of needing to seek this perfect ideal that I can picture in my mind. And then like basically never getting there. Like you just can't ever make it how it is in your mind. It will always be better in your imagination. Reality will never measure up. And that is such a disillusioning concept of, like, as humans in the physical, all we can ever do is improve. There's never like a good enough. There's never perfect. There's only like a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. So that for me was really powerful to like learn that and integrate that into my daily energy practice, and practice orienting myself towards appreciating incremental improvement instead of this picture that I have in my mind of perfection that I'm not reaching. And that is like this angst and this pressure and this like unstoppable force that I'm just never good enough. I'm never in a place where I feel like I'm good enough. And so that it's hard to be a happy person. It's hard to like be a happy contributing member of society when you constantly feel like you're not measuring up to who you think you should be in your head. And that's Virgo. And, you know, bless Virgo energy, because it keeps us reaching. It keeps us improving and tweaking and never settling for mediocre. excellent. Excellent is the only level that we will be satisfied with. And probably even when it's excellent, you're like, ooh, but we could do it like this and it would be even better. And that's Virgo energy, is excited about growth and improvement. And so having my heavy Virgo energy, I can totally see where in my early years, I didn't know how to not get beat up by that energy. I demanded perfection. And I realize now perfection is obviously not attainable in the physical. Um, and so that perfection, like in the book of Earth, he says something along the lines of perfection orients us, but it doesn't stand in the way of good enough. You know, like at a certain point, we can be happy with how well we've done, even if it's imperfect, because it always will be. So, yeah, so that's Virgo. And that's just one example. You know, Taurus and Capricorn, I have heavy energy in both of those as well. And it's so fascinating, like how much earth energy I have and have been. I realize as I hear Steven Forrest's interpretation, it's so loving on that energy. And I realize as I hear him talk about it that mostly up until this point, I have felt more defensive of my earth energy, like it rubs people the wrong way, and that I feel very misunderstood when I'm operating in my earth energy. And that is a long story about like all three of them working together, like Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. They each have their own function. And until you're using all of them, like the whole team isn't present and the tool just doesn't really function the way that it's supposed to. Like we're intended to have all of them, and you need all of them to be able to do anything. So in my upcoming session, which I am so excited about, I just like had the light bulb this morning and put it on the calendar for November 2nd at 11 a.m. Central Time. It's a 2-hour time block on Zoom where people can join, and I am going to talk through the Earth energy, the whole family, just like Steven Forrest does in the Book of Earth. And he's my main source as I relay a lot of this information, so we'll give him tons of credit. But we're going to go through Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, 2nd, 6th, and 10th houses, and Venus, Mercury, and Saturn. So we're going to try to fit all of those 9 pieces into 2 hours. It will be recorded and the video will be on the YouTube channel as soon as it's available. So even if you can't make it to that, or if you're watching this in the future, hello, in the future from the past, check it out. I'll link the recording in the description of this video once it's available. And if you're watching this before November 2nd of 2021, do feel free to join us. I'll put the Zoom link in the description of this video as well. I would love to have you there. So I think I'm going to close it right there. I feel really good about that. Hopefully this was a bit of a teaser to want to know more about your own personal earth energy. I'll put a link in the description for if you are a beginner and you've never pulled your natal chart before. I recommend Cafe Astrology for beginners. It gives you a really nice report, all in one place, nice little summaries of what it all means. So you can kind of start piecing that together. That's definitely where I started. And that's totally free. You can Google that anytime you want, or click the link in the description box. So hopefully this was fun. And I am looking forward to doing this upcoming event, and then also planning to use a lot of that same content and structure to make individual videos. So make a video just on Taurus, and make a video just on Virgo, make a video just on the 10th house, so that those are in more bite-sized chunks of time, not 2 hours to go through all of it in one sitting. But yeah, so all of that is coming up, and I'm falling in love with Earth energy and so happy to get to share that here on my channel. So thank you for being here. If you haven't already, please subscribe if you're into stuff like this. If you're still listening, maybe you are. Um, and if you're interested in joining the group where I post the live events as they're scheduled, that's on Meetup. It's a platform where it's free to join, and you can be a member of my group for free. And basically, you just get notified when those events are happening. I do one free event a month at this point, and I change it up a lot, and just whatever I'm in the mood to talk about, that's what we do that month. So if you join the meetup group, you can look back through some of the events that I've hosted in the past. And if ever you have a question or something that you would like me to cover on the channel or in a live event, I hope you'll tell me. So you can comment on the video, message me directly, whatever works for you. And I thank you for listening. Until next time, you take good care of yourself, and so will I.